Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is an international call. We've got people from all over the world. My name is Richard Maud. I'm an independent member with CashFX. I've been with the company for heading towards 12 months. It's been a very good experience, one I'm happy to share with you. I'm going to spend quite a bit of time going through the due diligence we've done on the project. I'm a professional businessman. I don't jump into anything. I always look at things very carefully. We spent quite a bit of time going through that because we wanted to make sure this was a long-term project, and I'm sure you'll feel the same. And then I'll explain basically how the business works and how we make money from it. I was introduced to CashFX by a friend of mine who is also a professional businessman. He's very successful. He's made millions of dollars over the years in various ventures. He's someone that is very analytical in his approach, which is something I appreciate. And he's very similar to me in that he won't just jump into anything. He always checks things out very carefully. So I knew that when John, his name's John Kinnear, approached me, it'd be something at least of interest. And sure enough, he showed me I was very interested and joined the business end of July last year. It's been an exceptionally good experience. I've been involved in startup companies for many years, often as a director of the company. Usually it can be quite challenging simply because you don't have much money to work with. The funds that you have originally are small until you can build up a track record and then raise funds. With CashFX, it's been very different. The owners are already very successful and they are investing heavily into the project and also partnered up with world-class partners, which has made the whole process extremely smooth sailing, which is quite unusual and very welcome, I have to say. We did a lot of more due diligence after joining the company. John in particular went over, met the owners of the company, spent 3 days with them going through absolutely everything. John being John, very analytical, and he came away extremely impressed. And since then, we've been working very closely with the company, various aspects of the business. John in particular has been helping them with their marketing material, and a few months ago actually became the marketing director of the company, which is both testament to the company that he agreed to do that and obviously to him as well because they wanted him on board. As I said, it's been a very good experience, and this is why I'm very happy to be sharing this experience with you. Let me just go through now some of the areas that we looked at that were very important to us before we jumped into business. So first and foremost, what is the market the company's in? Well, it's in the foreign exchange market, or Forex market. For those of you that are unfamiliar with this market, it is basically the differences between currencies around the world. So for example, you've got the British pound versus the Japanese yen. There are fluctuations between those prices. And if you know what you're doing, you can trade that and make money. There's around 80 to 90 million private or retail traders around the world. So people like you and I that are trading from home and making very good money. If you know what you're doing in this market, you can make a very serious amount of money. And I'm sure you know of people that are very successful in this area. But the retail traders actually only make up a very small part of the market. The market is dominated by the banks and institutions, which take around about 95% of the market. And they're in this market because the liquidity is there. They know that they can trade billions of dollars and make billions of dollars without any issues because the market is so large. It is in fact the largest traded market in the world by a long way. It's $5.3 trillion a day market, which is absolutely vast. You could lump all the other markets together, the stock market, the commodities market, etc., and they'd make up only a very small fraction of this market. That's obviously important to the banks, but it's also important to a business like CashFX because you have to have that headroom to enable the company to grow. And it's a key thing, the fact that with a $5.3 trillion a day market, CashFX can grow as big as it likes. It's never going to have an issue with headroom, and we always be able to expand. So that was one of the first tick boxes we saw when we first looked at the business. Now, another key area is the fact that the market is historically proven to be recession-proof. And this is something that was important to us when we were first looking at it from a longevity point of view, but it's now extremely important because of what's going on around the world. I'm sure we're all painfully aware of the fact that we are potentially going into one of the world's worst recessions ever seen. The reason it's recession-proof is simply because of the fact that it doesn't matter what's going on around the world's markets, you're still going to get those fluctuations between the currencies. This was extremely important when we first looked at it. It's vitally important right now because, as we know, we're potentially looking at mass unemployment, industries struggling, certainly a lot of companies struggling. I have a lot of business partners that I partnered up with CashFX, and they're people that run one or multiple companies. They're selling off companies. They are thinking they're going to have to shut down their companies. It's a mess out there. So to have a business that is making money in this market is extremely important. Smart money is moving out of the stock market into things like gold and silver, cryptocurrencies, and the Forex market because of the fact that there is that recession-proof element to it. And in fact, someone was saying to me the other day that the market has jumped up to $6.6 trillion a day, which is an enormous jump up. It's because of the fact that money is moving into this market because of what's going on around the world. The people I've partnered up with CashFX, they are looking at this as an important lifeline because, as I said, it's one of the few businesses out there right now that is actually making very good money in a market that most people are not. Now, another key element to the market is the fact that there are flexible risk management strategies, and that is important because if traders know what they're doing, they can keep the risk low but still keep the returns high. That is quite important because there are a lot of Forex companies on the market, but it is a bit of a minefield out there because often people just look at the returns being made by the traders. That is only half the story. You have to look at the other side of the coin. The company may be making really good returns, but their risk strategies are terrible. They'll have a drawdown of 50, 60%, something stupid like that, in which case they're effectively gambling with your money, and it is just a matter of time before they actually blow the account. And that's something we see a lot, unfortunately, in the industry. Again, CashFX doing it properly, they've got a drawdown as low as 3%, which I might add is exceptional. And that's where the skill is, to keep the risk really low but still have the high returns, and that's what you're basically looking for. So how does the business model work? Well, in many ways, it's similar to the banks. When you put your money into a bank account, they pool your money. They then trade that money in various markets, in particular the Forex market, for the reasons I've already said. And they're effectively leveraging your money to maximize their gains. So they're using your money to make money, which is fair enough. That's their business model. And it's obviously a very successful one because the banks, as we know, very successful. They don't make their money just from the fees. It's all about using the customer's money to leverage and maximize their gains. CashFX works in a similar way in that they pool the money, they trade the money. The money's traded 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. But the key difference is every Saturday, you see those trading returns in your own account, which you can withdraw. What we're talking about here is a business model where you're letting pro traders do the work for you and you're then receiving those returns every Saturday. That's the basic business model, and I'll come back to this in a second, obviously, and explain in a bit more detail how it's going to work. Now, a couple of other things on the due diligence side. First and foremost, how do we know that CashFX are trading, the returns that they're getting are real? Obviously, the fact that every single CashFX member receives their trading returns every Saturday without fail is an indicator of that. And there are many other things that are working closely with the company over the last 12 months that we've seen shows that the company is doing exactly what they say they're doing. But one of the first things we looked at when we were early on in the business was the broker. Now, the broker, for those again of you that are unfamiliar with the Forex market, you have to go through a broker to trade the Forex market. You can't just trade directly. And the broker is an integral part of the trading process. They don't actually do the trading themselves. They just are the integral part. So they're like the middleman. So basically the trader deposits their funds with the broker holds the funds, the trader then makes the trade, the broker then instigates those trades electronically, money in, money out, etc., wins, losses, and so on and so forth. So that puts the broker in a very unique position to be able to see exactly how the trader is performing. They can see how much money they're trading, how they're trading exactly, because they are actually instigating the trades, and they can see the result at the end of the day, i.e. how successful the trade has been. And that's really important. That's something I'll come back to in a second. Now, there are brokers and there are brokers. There are brokers that, for example, are completely unknown, often attached to the trading company. If that's the case, then obviously you wouldn't want to go there. That's a significant red flag. There are brokers that are non-regulated or minimally regulated, and they can be fine. In fact, there are world-class brokers in that bracket. They choose to go down that route simply because it opens up different markets for them. For example, they have more flexibility regarding the products they offer. They can offer higher risk products, and there is a market for that because if traders know what they're doing in those markets, they can, in theory, make more money. But for me, if you're looking for the very best broker, you're looking for a broker that is regulated. And the company that CashFX uses is a company called EverFX. They're a European-based broker. They are internationally recognized, multi-award winning, and multi-regulated. So, for example, they're regulated by CySEC, which is one of the main regulatory bodies for Europe. And they're also regulated by the Cayman authorities and the Seychelles authorities. And they're currently going through the process of being regulated by the FCA, the Financial Conduct Authority here in the UK, and also the South African authorities. So an extremely regulated company. And the reason they're going down that route is because it opens up different markets for them around the world. And their pitch is very simple. We are a regulated broker, so your money's safe with us. That's what regulation is all about. Everything has to be done by the book, etc. So it is a strong argument for using a regulated broker. Now, EverFX is a special broker as well because they're also multi-award winning. They've been voted best new multi-asset broker, best online CFD brokers. These are serious rewards. And it's also the official global partner of Sevilla Football Club. Sevilla Football Club, for those of you that are not into football, is a premier football club. They're one of the top clubs in Europe. They're number 3 in the Spanish league behind Barcelona and Real Madrid. And as you can see here, there's the EverFX logo on the shorts next to the Nike logo. So you've got to be a serious company to be able to sponsor a football club at that level because there's a lot of money involved. So EverFX, serious company. Now, the key thing about this, particularly as they are multi-regulated, is that EverFX are on record on multiple occasions strongly recommending CashFX. That is a huge tick box. It really doesn't get better than that when you get a multi-regulated company doing something like that. You've got to remember they are CashFX's broker. So they can see firsthand how much money they're trading, how they're trading, because they're actually instigating the trades, as I've already said, and they also see how successful CashFX is at the end. So for them to be recommending a company like that, you've got to understand they must be extremely confident about the company up to this point, but also moving forwards, because if CashFX mess up in the future, that will come back directly to cause the major issues. As I said, if you can imagine as a regulated broker, if you're recommending a company and that company then does something that is undesirable, as a regulated company, that will get you into severe trouble. So it's really important to stress that there's no way a multi-regulated broker like EverFX would recommend CashFX if they weren't doing exactly what they say they're doing. And in fact, there is actually a video. It's one of the videos I recommend. If you haven't seen it, then ask the person to introduce you to get you the link. It's an 8-minute video of the Chief Operations Officer, one of the senior board directors of EverFX, standing on stage talking about his background, very experienced guy. Talks about why the company is being multi-regulated, but he also goes on to talk about the relationship with CashFX. And as you'll see, he really doesn't pull any punches. He strongly recommends CashFX. He talks about the fact that they've seen thousands of traders. Of course they have, they are the broker. And the fact that what CashFX does is genuinely special, the way they get the market to come to them. Talks about one of the owners, Edwin Abad, who's the main trader and team. As a world-class trader, trades without emotion. It's a very strong review. And if you're watching it, just remember, he is COO of a regulated company. And if he was recommending CashFX and they weren't doing what they say they're doing, that would effectively be business suicide. It would be an absolute disaster for the company. That's really important because I could show you a business today that is worth $1 million a day to you. But if the money's coming into it is not real, then that doesn't mean anything. This is the engine room of the business. Everything I'm going to show you flows from there. It's extremely important. So let me now just go through just a couple of other things on the due diligence side because they are really important. For example, we've got here one of the owners, Huascar Lopez. The owners of the company are extremely important with regard to the longevity of the business, their backgrounds, their abilities, etc. Now, Huascar is an extremely successful businessman. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He is someone who has huge property holdings, huge land holdings in key locations. He has manufacturing facilities with government contracts. He's also an extremely successful Bitcoin trader. He has a vast Bitcoin holding. He sold over $90 million worth in 2017, just before the crash. So a very switched on individual. His passion is CashFX. We've been working very closely with Huascar. He's a US-based businessman. His family live there. He's got a beautiful house in Florida. He is working with us on a daily basis on the project, and he is investing serious money into the project along the way. And everything from the new headquarters, the payment processor, the new academy program, the legal side, the people they're working with. He's investing millions of dollars into the project, which is, again, something from a due diligence point of view, extremely important. So we've been very impressed with Huascar and everything he's doing. Same thing with Edwin. Edwin's the gentleman that was talked about, a world-class trader. He's also a very experienced engineer. He ran a very successful engineering company in the US. He's combining that engineering prowess with the trading with regard to the technology they use for the trading. And this is really important because it's all part of the sustainability of the project, not just about getting good results now, but getting good results long term. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Just some stats, 26,000 active members around the world. The company hasn't really even started yet, 180 countries, 100,000 successful pets. I will talk a little bit about that. I've been with the company now, as I said, going on 12 months. I've made 30 plus withdrawals, not a single issue. I've withdrawn very serious money from the project. Same thing for all my partners in the business. So the whole process has been absolutely fantastic. However, not good enough for the company, which is, again, very typical of the way CashFX operate, in particular Wascar, because they're currently going through a reputable third-party processor to do this process, which is great. However, for Wascar, that's not good enough. He does not want any third party to be involved. So he's actually bringing the payment processor in-house. But it's, again, just typical because they want to make sure that this company is sustainable long-term in every aspect of the business. Same thing with the technology they use for the trading, as I've already mentioned. Thanks to Edwin, they're developing this in-house so they keep control and also can adapt it, which is a key element. Some of the team behind the company, John Kinnear, as I've already mentioned, is my enroller, and he's actually now the marketing director, which is great. We get that close connection with the company. John works with them on a daily basis and is, again, very impressed with what he's seen. The traders and engineers behind the project. So these guys have an absolute crucial role. They are the engine room of the company, if you like. Without these guys, we couldn't have a business. They're all highly experienced traders, been trading for many years. John Wilson here on the bottom left is the lead trader, and John Lovestock on the bottom right, he is the very important role as the lead engineer on the project. You notice here it says traders and engineers, and this is a key element. If it was just traders, okay, that's good, but again, traders by themselves can have bad days. If it was just a bot bought off the shelf, same thing. Bots are okay for a while, but if the market changes, then they can often start to fail. So it's this unique combination that CashFX has got that makes it very special. So John's role is to constantly hone, tweak, and optimize the EA or expert advisor algorithms they use to do the trading, combined with developing the AI technology they're going to be looking at to use for future reference. But the key thing here is they're using a system that does most of the trading. And why would you use a system like that? Well, you've got to remember the market's traded 24 hours a day. So human beings need sleep, so they won't be able to optimize the market. A machine never has a bad day, it always trades the same way, which is important in the Forex market. Doesn't matter if it's trading $5 or $5 billion, it will trade the same way, which is really important. And also, a machine can do many more trades than a human being can in a 24-hour period. And for example, one of the systems or techniques they use is scalping, where the machine will make thousands of trades very fast, in, out, in, out, in, out, just taking off a little profit off the top, hence the name scalping. And that's a very effective way of keeping the drawdown low, keeping the returns high. So I think I've already mentioned this. These guys have a drawdown as low as 3%, which is exceptional. And since I've been with the company, I've seen returns anywhere from 5 to 13% per week. Again, 5 to 13% per week. Those are remarkable returns in any market, let alone the market we have right now. And remember, these trading returns are real. You would not get a multi-regulated broker strongly recommending the company. In fact, that's why they're recommending the company. What CashFX are doing is genuinely special. And so this is the engine room of the company. Everything I'm going to show you comes from here, how we make money from the trading. So these are the guys that are doing the important job of working the Forex market, enabling us to make money from it, without us having to know the first thing about the Forex market. Just a couple of final things on the due diligence. The people that have partnered up with the company, again, are a clear sign of commitment by the company and also caliber. CashFX use a company for their technology consultants, a company called the Conversion Pros. They are an internationally recognized US-based company, considered to be one of the very best in the field. They work with Fortune 500 companies and many large companies around the world. So if you see a company with the Conversion Pros behind them, then you know that the company has serious commitment and expectation of the business being special. Again, like anything, if you have the best, it's not cheap. It's always going to be the non-cheap option. But this is what you expect. And by the way, these guys, I think, are one of the main reasons why we've had such a smooth process since we launched, because of the fact they are highly experienced in what they do, and they've positioned everything beautifully since we started. So hats off to these guys. They're doing an amazing job. It goes one stage further than that. Normally, you wouldn't necessarily know the Conversion Pros were behind the company. You But the fact is, Ron Pope, who's the co-founder and president CEO of the company, very experienced US-based businessman, excellent reputation. He was so impressed with what he's seen that he actually has joined the business and is actually recommending it to others. Hence why we've got a whole page spread here. In fact, if you go online, I'm sure you'll see interviews with Ron where he talks about his relationship with CashFX and how special the company is. And it must be, because he's seen many, many companies over the years and never been interested in joining any of those, but he has with CashFX. So again, another big tick box. And finally, on the due diligence, we have the headquarters. Now, normally, an online company often doesn't even have a headquarters. If they do have a headquarters, invariably, it's just a leased office. And for me, a leased office is just a toe in the water. It can be very easily removed at any time. That's often the case. With CashFX, it is a bricks and mortar operation, which is exactly what you want. They've purchased outright the whole of the 9th floor, which is a 10,000 square foot office, very serious office, in the RBS Tower, which is a prestigious building in a prestigious part of Panama City, in the business district there. Why Panama? Well, many top companies have positioned their headquarters there because there are superb banking facilities, fantastic tax structures. And in CashFX's case, they've actually got remarkably good connections with the Panamanian government. So basically made it a no-brainer for them to be there. They spent $1.2 million on purchasing the office, and they've spent another $1 million through Carolina Ventura here, the architect on the project, on refurbishing them. So $2.2 million is a serious investment. Everything is effectively finished, but they haven't been able to open them because of the lockdown. Huasca was showing us a video the other day of all the furniture sitting there in a warehouse, just waiting to be installed. But hopefully lockdown will start to ease soon. And when that happens, they'll be opening the offices. And when they do, it is going to be a state-of-the-art facility with the most advanced trading floor in the whole of the Southern Hemisphere. And I'll say that again, the most advanced trading floor in the whole of the Southern Hemisphere. That's quite a statement. But again, typical of Huasca, he's not playing at this. He's not wanting this to be just a good company. He wants it to be the best and is prepared to invest. $2.2 million is not a toe in the water. That is a serious commitment by a company. And from a due diligence point of view, a very strong indicator that the company is expecting to be around long term. So if you add up everything that I've just gone through here on the due diligence side, it is genuinely excellent. It is very rare to find business that is this well set up with third-party companies, including regulated companies, strongly recommending the company. It's an excellent foundation for what I'm going to show you now. So basically, with CashFX, I've already pointed out all the due diligence for you, and normally that would be more than enough for me to invest significant sums with that project. With CashFX, you can start for as little as $300. There's no upfront fees, no monthly fees or anything like that. It is literally just a one-time purchase. So you buy what's called a trade pack. You can start off for a little $300 pack, right the way up to the top pack, which is $100K. People that have partnered up with me over the months have come from all walks of life, and they've come in at all levels, everything from 300 to 100K. We have many people coming into the bigger packs. Obviously, these are people that have done a lot of due diligence on the project and are very happy with what they're seeing. Otherwise, they wouldn't be investing or purchasing packs at that level. Now, key thing, this is really important. Apologies for you guys that are experienced business people and know all this already, but it is important, particularly there's a lot of people on this call probably that have never been involved in business before. It's really important that you put a business hat on when you're looking at any project, because I've already shown you the due diligence on this company stacks up pretty well beyond anything I've seen recently. It's a company that has got remarkable trading results over the last 11 months that I've been involved with, but also the many months before the company launched. These are all strong indicators of a good future with great returns, etc. However, there's no such thing as a guarantee in business. If anyone ever says that to you, if anyone says, oh, we've got a guaranteed business, guaranteed returns, then run for the hills, because that is almost certainly a company that you do not want to be involved in. We're talking about a company that is stacks up across the board, but there are still no guarantees. Same thing with trading. Past results are no guarantee of future results. Trading by its nature is risky. Even though the guys have extremely good risk strategy management, there's still no guarantees. So always, when you're coming into any project, start off at a level you can afford. Really important. Come in at a level that is sensible, a level you feel comfortable with. So don't bet the farm, don't remortgage your house, don't borrow money or anything stupid like that. As I said, just come in at a level you can afford, a level that you feel comfortable with. And I think comfortable is the right word there. Start off at a comfortable level, then you'll really enjoy the experience. So that's just really important from any business out there. You come in with the same attitude. So let's explain how this works. Whatever pack you decide to come in, whether it's $300 or $100K, and any pack in between. The pack is split down into two parts. We have the Academy program and the trade pool deposit. Now, the trade pool is the trading side. Now, as I've already mentioned, this is a way that you don't have to know anything about the Forex market, and yet you can still earn from the Forex market because letting the pros do the trading for you. The other side to this is the Academy program, which is a very important part of the business. Now, this is optional. You may not be interested in this at all, but we believe a lot of people will be interested in this. A lot of people are at a crossroads in their life, and they'd love to learn a new skill to be able to make money from home. And this is a key thing, of course. A lot of people, have lost their job or their business is failing, or they may be thinking to themselves, I actually don't want to go back to work anymore. I'd love to be able to do something from home. And this is where the Academy program comes in. So it's called the CFX Academy. It is a world-class training program on how to become a Forex trader. It's under development at the moment. It's that close to being launched. When it is launched, it is going to be a world-class program where you'll be able to learn the very basics of Forex trading, go right the way through to the Supreme Series, where you'll be introduced to advanced trading strategies, but also the psychology of professional trading, which is a really important part of it. You have to learn to be able to trade without emotion. That may sound strange, but basically what it means is it's all very well trading for $5, but if you're trading $100,000 or $1 million of your own money, that can then start playing tricks with your mind, and you might start changing the way you trade, which is not good in the Forex markets. You have to learn to be able to trade without emotion. So as I said, this is going to be a world-class program. It's actually going to be government accredited, which I think is a first for any company in this market. The company is actually listed as a training company. So this is a very important part of the program. You'll be able to plug yourself into this and literally get world-class trading to give you a skill that will enable you to make money completely independently of any company working from home. Now, as the other side, as I've already mentioned, is the trade pool deposit. So looking at a $300 pack, when you buy a pack, 30% goes towards the Academy program, which in the case of a $300 pack is $90. The other 70%, or in this case $210, goes towards the trade pool deposit. That is then traded Monday to Friday by the pro traders. So again, you don't have to know the first thing about trading or do any trading yourself. They're doing the work. And every Saturday, you receive those trading returns into your available account, which is money that you can withdraw. And the pack will complete once it gets to 2 times the original purchase price. So in the case of a $300 pack, that's $600. In the case of a $100K pack, that's $200,000. So what you do from there is completely up to you. Because remember, you've been withdrawing your money every Saturday, so it's your money. It's in your bank account. It's completely up to you what you do with it. You can take your money and run. You can come back in and buy another pack at that level. Or if you're on a lower pack, obviously you can't do that with a 100K pack because at the top level, you've got the opportunity to be able to upgrade your pack to a higher pack. Now, why would you do that? Well, it's simple, because if you can see here on a $300 pack, your trade pool deposit is $210, but on a $500 pack, it's $350. So what's happening there is your account is trading more money. And because you're trading more money, depending on whatever trading return is achieved that week, and if it's between a 5 or 13%, you're going to make more money because you're trading more money. So that's the key. And what CashFX has done here, which is very clever, it's enabling people to start off small and build up over time to the bigger packs where you're making more and more money. In the case of a $300 pack, the way this would work is that if you upgrade before the $300 pack completes at $600, the company will enable you to take some of those profits and upgrade to the next level up, which in this case is the $500 pack, by just paying the difference between the two packs. So you're not paying $500, you're paying just $200 to upgrade to the next pack up. Now, the reason that's important, obviously, as I said, you can be taking your profits all the way along if you want to, but also it means that you can upgrade and upgrade and upgrade and upgrade without putting any more of your own money out of your pocket. You're basically using what the pro traders are doing, the money you're making from that, to then upgrade and upgrade, to build up a bigger fund, if you like, to make even more money. I actually started at a $300 pack. I could have come in with a much higher pack, but I'm an experienced builder in this industry, so I wanted to see how quickly I could go from a $300 pack up to the 100K pack, and I managed to do that in 8 months. Now, it's important to stress that that is an accelerated process because I am very experienced in the industry, but the fact is I didn't put any more of my money in. I'm sure there'll be people that will do it quicker than me, but I think most people will take longer than me. But the fact is you'll still get there. Even if you are a passive member, you will work your way up to the 100K pack if you want to. You've got that flexibility. You can stop at any time, do whatever you want to do with this option. But I wanted to get up to the 100K pack. And the reason I did was because when I first started, I was trading $210, or my account was trading that. Now that I'm on the 100K pack, my account is trading $70,000. So you can imagine a 5 to 13% on that. These are very serious returns on a weekly basis. This would be life-changing for most people. So the fact is, CashFX are giving people the chance to start off small and build up to a much bigger pack over time. And as I've already mentioned, you've got the option to stop it anywhere you like. For example, you might decide to stop at the 10K and just keep purchasing that. So the pack completes at 20K. Once that completes, you buy your 10K, next 10K pack, and you keep your 10K profits, and you just keep doing that again and again and again. So you've got that tremendous flexibility. So this is a world-class product. You've got world-class traders doing what they're doing, getting remarkable returns. They enable you to come in at any level you feel comfortable with. People come in at the 100K pack because they want to make those returns straight away. Whatever level you feel comfortable with, join at that level, and then you can have that flexibility to make money again and again from the pro traders doing the work for you. You've also got the option of the Academy program. So this is fantastic. If you think about that, where else can you get those kinds of returns out there? Particularly at the moment, it is very rare. So this is a very special product. Now, if your interest is only to be a passive member, you just don't want to do anything further than that, we do have a referral program, just like many other companies out there have a referral program, like Amazon has a referral program, Virgin has a referral program. There is that option. But if you're not interested in that, just want to stay with being a passive member, then leave the call now, get back to the person that introduced you, and then we'll sort of cover it from there. Now, if you are someone that is interested in learning about a referral side, it is extremely lucrative. And one thing that I would say is that I have a lot of people come into the business that decide they want to be a passive member. And as I've already shown you, that's absolutely fantastic. But once they've been in the business a while, they've seen how it's working, they've been taking their withdrawals, it is often quite difficult to not actually refer your friends and family. If you think about it, this is something that you would do anyway. If you were in something that was making you a lot of money and you could see it was really good, you probably would just tell your friends and family anyway, even if you weren't going to make any money with it. So that's one of the key sides to this business, is that this is a simple business that anyone can do, because it is a referral. And what is a referral? A referral is just inviting someone to an overview like this. As you can see, there's no hype, there's no rah-rah, it's just a business overview so they can make an informed decision. If they decide to join, great. If they decide not to join, equally great. Doesn't matter either way, but that's basically the business. It's as simple as that. So often people come into it, they're thinking they're not going to refer people. Once they've seen it working for a while, then they start referring people. And if you do refer people to CashFX, you can make a very serious amount of money from this rewards plan, because this is the best rewards plan I've ever seen in 20 years in the industry. Basically, when you buy a 1K pack, whether you've upgraded to it or purchased it outright, 70% is taken toward the trade pool, 30% then goes towards the Academy program. The trading account is then deposited Monday to Friday. You're receiving your trading returns every Saturday. That's money you can withdraw, and the pack will complete once it gets to 2 times the original purchase price. So not 2 times the 700, 2 times the 1K, so you've made 2K in the process. It's your money, it's in your account, it's completely up to you what you do with that. That's fantastic. Now, the 30% that is taken toward the Academy pack, the company pays out 100% of that to anyone that is referring people. Now, one thing I would say is the company makes their money from the trading. They're putting their money where their mouth is. This is why they're happy to pay out 100%. Because they know that they can make money from their own trading expertise. Also, an important point is we don't actually receive any money from the trading account. We only get paid money from the Academy product. So the 30% is taken. In this case, that's $300. That is then split down 50%. 150 goes to what's called a fast start bonus, which is towards the enroller. The other 50% goes towards what's called a unilevel bonus, and I'll explain what that is in a second. So let's explain how the fast start works. One thing I would say, by the way, guys, it's really important. If you are interested in coming to the business, as I said, it's optional, but if you decide that you would like to refer others to the program, then just have a realistic mindset, because I sometimes see people come into a business like this. They think that they're going to make a lot of money without putting any effort in at all. This is a business like any other business out there. It's a very special business, in my opinion. It's a business that anyone can do. It's a great leveler. It's just down to activity. The fact is, if you want to make money, it does take activity. You do have to put some effort into it. If you look at the top income earners in CashFX, they are working very hard on the business because they can see the potential and they are going out there and they're making a lot of money because they're putting in the effort it takes to build a business. So if you're coming into the business and want to make money from the referral side of the business, then just have a realistic mindset. So let's explain how the Fast Start works. So I'll use myself as the example. I started off at a $300 pack. So John introduced me, simply just invited me to an overview. I asked a few questions afterwards, like what I saw, I joined. I started off with a $300 pack. The 30% was taken for the Academy program. 50% of that went to the U level. The other 50% or $45 was paid to John in the Fast Start. So John received $45. Can't exactly retire on that. It's nice, it's not a huge amount of money. But this is the genius of what CashFX have come up with. Because remember, there's no upfront fees or monthly fees, and yet John has been paid again and again and again more and more money. So how does that work? It's simply because I am making money from the business. That's the great feature of this business. I'm not having to buy a garage full of products, potions, lotions, pills, things like that. I am basically making money from the traders. The traders are doing their work and I'm receiving those trading returns. That then gives me enough money to upgrade to the higher pack. I'm then getting the next level in the Academy program, etc. Every time I upgrade, John received another Fast Start again and again and again. When I upgraded to the 100K pack, John then received $7,500. So let's just rewind a little bit. So what happened there? He introduced me one time. He brought me onto an overview like this. I joined for just $300, and yet 8 months later, he's now receiving $7,500. Now, of course, as I've already pointed out, I have accelerated the process. However, even as a passive member, I would get to the 100K contract in time. And so now that I'm on the 100K contract, my contract will complete like all the contracts do at 2 times. So my 100K will turn into 200K. I take my 100K profit and I come back in and buy another 100K contract. Why am I going to do that? Well, it's because I want to continue making money. It's very, very good money. So I'll continue to do that. And every time I purchase a 100K pack, John then receives $15,000. Again and again and again. So I literally renewed a few weeks ago and John received $15,000 when I did that. When my pack completes in a few months from now, I will then renew and John will receive another $15,000. The question is very simple. How many people would you like to introduce to CashFX? How many people would you like to just invite to come and have a look on an overview like this? And if they join, even for $300, remember, they can work their way up through the packs. And when they get up to the 100K pack, you're going to be receiving $15,000 every time they renew that pack. Introduce 10, that's $150,000. Think about that. How many businesses out there do you know of that you can introduce 10 customers that's going to pay you $150,000 on a regular basis? I can't think of any. This Fast Start is absolutely remarkable. I've got a lady in my team, Hazel. She's a 68-year-old grandmother. She's never done anything like this before. She's just been putting posts up on Facebook and social media. She's now introduced 45 people. So you can imagine the sort of money that Hazel is going to be making once all these people get up to their 100K packs, and they're on their way. They're on 20, 30K packs. This is totally life-changing for a 68-year-old grandmother. She's taking it seriously. She's putting in the effort. The fact is she's introduced 45 people. So this Fast Start alone, forget everything else, is absolutely remarkable. Often in referral programs, you only get the people you introduce, but CashFX goes one stage further because this massively leverages us and increases our income earning potential exponentially. When I started, I joined the business, I paid my $300 and then upgrade and upgrade and upgrade. And when I did that, every time I upgraded, John received not only the Fast Start, but he also received a 10% bonus from what's called the Una level because I was on the first level of his business. I was the first person he introduced. If I then introduce other people like Jane, Fred, Steve, every time they purchased a pack or upgraded, he received another 10%. If you get up to executive, again, takes effort, that's not something that's easy, but I've got over 200 people in my organization that are at this level, so it is very achievable for people. And when you do, you're now picking up 20% on levels 5 and 6. Just to put that into perspective, if you have someone on a 100K pack, every time they renew, you're going to receive $3,000 again and again and again. It's just one person in your organization. What are you doing? You're introducing someone one time. If they go and start referring people, you're getting paid on that as well. So this is the best referral program I've ever come across in 20 years. And Hazel, for example, she's now got a team of 400 people that she's earning on. She's an executive and she's earning on these levels. She's pushing hard to go to manager, get to manager, you then pick up additional levels and so on and so forth. So you can increase your income even further over time. But there is another way that we earn from the business as well, but particularly if you've just been introduced for the first time, gone through a lot of information for you to process. But what I will say about the Matrix is it's a great part of the plan that even as a passive member, if you're in an active team and people are referring other people, then what can happen is you'll end up with people coming in underneath you because it fills up automatically. You can actually start picking up team building bonuses even though you're not a team builder yourself. So this is a remarkable part of the plan as well. There's a lot of information there. Hopefully I covered it relatively clearly so you've got a good picture of it. We've got a business here. You can start for as little as $300, one-time purchase. You've got a business that is tapping into the $5.3 trillion a day Forex market, which is the biggest traded market in the world. You've got a market that is recession-proof, which is extremely important at the moment. We've got a business that is set up properly by owners that are highly experienced, that are investing millions of dollars of their own money into the project. So again, that's a clear indicator of strong belief and commitment into the business. That the company's partnered up with world-class partners, third-party companies that are strongly recommending them, including a multi-regulated broker, which really from a due diligence point doesn't get much better than that. You've got a $2.2 million headquarters. That's exactly what you're looking for, a bricks and mortar operation. So it doesn't get better than that. So the due diligence on the project is world-class. You've got a business that you can start off with $300 and you can build up from there, letting the pro traders do the work for you. You've also got academy program that if you want to, you can learn to become a world-class trader yourself. And finally, by no means least, you've got a referral program. Can't be beat. People can start off with small amounts of money. It doesn't matter. You can then still build up a remarkable income if you put in the effort. I've been in the industry 20 years. I've never seen a business like this, particularly right now. You know, what else is there on the market that is a product that actually makes people money? If you refer someone to CashFX, you know that they're actually going to make money, and that's really special. If you decide to join the business, then congratulations and welcome to the team. So thanks again for listening in. Take care.
Thank you, Richard. Another brilliant presentation as usual. I'm sure most of you found that incredibly interesting and incredibly exciting. I suspect many of you are now wondering, particularly those who are new to the call, what are your next steps? Well, what you need to do is take the following action. First of all, get back to the person who invited you onto this presentation. Secondly, get any questions that you may have answered by that person. Then, when you're ready to get started, register with CashFX. The person who invited you will give you the correct link to do that. Once you're registered, buy your trading pack. And remember, only come in with what you're comfortable with. And finally, start taking action to build wealth. There are many ordinary people within CashFX who are making extraordinary incomes simply because they took action. That ends our presentation for today. I'd like to thank Richard for taking the time to present a wealth of information to us, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to be with us. And we look forward to welcoming you to the CashFX family.